This speech is to show the benefits of legalizing cannabis and the negative effects that the prohibition on cannabis has caused. Although the use of and possession of cannabis are illegal under federal law, medicinal and recreational cannabis has become increasingly widespread, including Washington, D.C., which legalized medical cannabis in showing the viable medicinal use cannabis has, which I will get on in my speech. If you are already on board with this, then this speech really isn't for you. However, if you feel that cannabis is not more than the devil's lettuce and a gateway drug for violence, murder, and crimes, then you should stick around so I can give you some information on the subject that you are missing. Now, even though I haven't taken any formal classes, I've been at the start of this movement since I was in middle school back in 2001. I followed this passion through high school and into my adult life, following the laws and regulations of this unjust prohibition that was started and has developed into an anti-cannabis culture where we are in now. There are so many problems for the communities of color and minorities, to the people in mental distress who are too scared of what people will think of them negatively. Therefore, in this speech, I propose to show how legalizing can help not only these two problems, but many more. It was Reagan who said, probably the most dangerous drug in the United States today. The first part of my speech is about the guilty. The places the cannabis is still illegal, people are being arrested and charged with possession, and in some cases selling, even though later the courts ruled that that wasn't the case. Don't get me wrong, I am all for you do the crime, you do the time, but that gets murky when you realize the cops are targeting people, a minority, with Black Americans getting arrested nearly 4 times more than anyone else. Not only adds to the overpopulated jails or prisons, but more importantly, staining that record, which will affect them in life, from getting a good job to countless other benefits that stop after you get a record. Even though cannabis has shown many medicinal benefits, most Americans are scared of using it, not because they are scared of side effects, but because of fear of what society will think of them. Also, some have to fear the legal repercussions where it's illegal, but they still do it because they believe the medicinal benefits still outweigh the risks, with its benefits not only being beneficial, but also therapeutic on both physical and mental health. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger that said, "This is not a drug, it is clearly a leaf." Law enforcement is overworked, and the justice system is backed up with overflow of cases that keep coming in. By regulating cannabis and cultivating and sales, it will take it off the black market and reduce the involvement of criminal organizations, which will lead to safer communities and reduce cannabis-related violence in communities that have been mostly affected by criminalization of cannabis, which will also free up law enforcement to focus on more serious crimes, which will simultaneously reduce the number of people incarcerated for nonviolent drug offenses, saving taxpayers money. Also, significant benefits for justice and equity in marginalized communities that have been disproportionately affected by the criminalization of cannabis. The next step of my speech will be talking about the medicinal benefits. It was Abraham Lincoln that said, "Two of my favorite things are sitting on the front porch smoking a pipe of sweet hemp and playing my harmonica." It's an all-natural medicine. Legalization can allow more people to enjoy better health outcomes. Also, it can promote the safer use of cannabis by educating the public and operating cannabis use and providing quality control measures for cannabis products. This leads to increased research into potential medical applications of cannabis and could lead to the development of innovation treatments. It will reduce the use of more harmful drugs. Without legal cannabis, people will turn to the more harder drugs like illegal heroin or fentanyl to manage their chronic pain or other conditions, providing a safer alternative for these individuals and could reduce the overall demand for these more dangerous drugs. In conclusion, we know that drug laws in general have been used to criminalize communities of color and minorities. We know we have found a decrease in opioid overdoses, deaths, and hospitalizations in legal states. Cannabis is an effective alternative to prescription painkillers. Also, the stigma that comes with people who choose to intake cannabis. With the legalization of cannabis, we can help hundreds of people who are being put in jail for small amounts of cannabis, or the hundreds living in silence because of chronic pain and other ailments that can be given just by legalizing this, not just plant, a vital substance for humanity. There is ample pushback against the idea of legalization cannabis across the country. Some don't want to change the laws of cannabis simply because it means changing the status quo, but that reason will decrease the likelihood that cannabis will become legal at a national level anytime soon. However, more and more states are moving to legalizing cannabis use, the economic benefits of a legal cannabis industry. I've given a link to Texas Normal. It's an organization that helps change laws here in Texas. They have events, they have voting sessions. They let you know the laws that are coming up. I'm telling you to gladly go on this website. Hopefully, I will see you at our next event. Thank you.